Greg, man, it's such a pleasure to finally meet you. I've been a fan for a while because I've always said Greg Kinnear has had the best transition from host to acting that I've ever seen. I don't even know if there's another example like that. Because I was a fan of Talk Soup when you were hosting back in the 90s.
Yes, yes.
And then you had later with Greg Kinnear.
I did.
So how did the transition to acting come about? And were you doing them both simultaneously? Or how did that happen?
You don't sound like Ellen. No. This is your 8th time doing this show.
Yes.
You're like he's an old seasoned vet, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. You know, it's not easy to do a talk show. The talk show I did, it was not like this. It was on right across the street. We shot it every day. It was on very late, so late at night that it was on early in the morning. We finished at like 2-something. I'm not kidding, 2-something in the morning. So.
Whoa.
Audience, not so big. You get your smokers, your tokers, and my parents. And but we had great guests, and I enjoyed doing it. And then my fear was always of running out of great questions. What are we going to talk about? And I had for my producer on my desk a little paperweight. It said, "So what else?" And our kind of running joke was, if I ever got to the question, "So what else?" it was time to bag it. And we had a guest on, Mario. I'm not going to tell you who the guest is.
Who shall remain nameless.
I'm not going to tell you who the
Okay.
guest is, but we finally got in, and it was like I just was running along for 15, 20 minutes, and I said, "So what else?"
Oh, no.
And looked at my producer, and we had another 10 minutes to fill. So thank God that was the week that I got my first movie. So I decided maybe this is a perfect sign from God to switch careers.
So you were studying at the same time, kind of handed, because they're completely different skill sets, which is very impressive. So good on you. And it worked out well.
It's worked out okay.
It's worked out rather well, my friend. That's awesome. And you also hosted a radio show back in the day in high school, right? In Greece.
That's right.
Of all places. How did that happen? Pardon me?
Excuse me?
Oh, you were supposed. So you're fluent in Greek.
I dropped a little Greek.
Okay, you just dropped a little Greek on me.
I don't know a lot of Greek.
International player.
I'm great with the bad words for those of you who speak Greek. Things like that. I don't know if you have to bleep out Greek words on television, but
it sounds authentic.
It does, right? No, I was pretty good with that. But my father was with the American Embassy when I was a kid. So we were in Athens, and there was a little, very small radio station there, and I did a little weekly show called School Days with Greg Kinnear that you probably all listened to, I'm sure.
In Greek?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Well, no, the show wasn't in Greek. Thank God. No, it was in English.
Okay,
it was an
English?
American Air Force station, so I was able to do it in my fluent language. But
you were like Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam.
Yes, exactly. It was a little like that. You play some songs, you complain about what's going on at school, bitch a little bit here and there. But it was actually it was a great gig.
I know we both have 3 kids.
That's right.
Yours are a little older, I believe, though, right?
Yes, they are. I have. Well, yours are a little younger, I believe.
Yes, recently turned 11, 8, and 2.
Okay, I'll see you're 11, 8, and 2 with a 18, or 16, and 13.
Have they shown any sort of desire to get into this line of work? And if they do, are you trying to encourage them or discourage them?
Discourage. No, I honestly, if they wanted to get into this business, I would. I really would encourage it. You know, it's. I think. By the way, I'll say this: my 2 pieces of advice, and God help you if you're getting any show business advice from me. But if you're thinking seriously about show business, 2 things: 1, reconsider. And 2, get some experience with a live audience. And I think, it's very hard for these kids over the last couple of years with COVID is that the isolation. I do think that the idea of getting in front of audiences and the idea of being in front of people is a really valuable thing. And it's something, obviously, through this that has been, kind of taxing on kids, obviously. But, in terms of their interest, I mean, if they wanted to follow through on it, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, you figure it out, and you just got to be supportive.
Yeah.
What do people recognize you the most? What do they come up in public and say the most?
It's not like I don't get the, hey, you look like Woody Harrelson thing. I mean, it's, I get more, like when I'm going through, like, the airport, I get the TSA guy, pull the mask down, please, check you out, and be like, you look like that actor. And I'm like,
that actor.
That tends to be the go-to thing, yeah.
I love it. I love
That
it.
could be my autobiography, right? If I'm ever going to do the Greg
great
Kinnear
title.
book, I think you look like that actor.
Sounds like a good memoir.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
We'll hang in there, Greg, because we're going to talk about Greg's brand new show, which is getting a lot of great reviews when we come back. We are back with Greg Kinnear. So, Greg, the show is called Shining Vale.
Yeah.
You see the wonderful Courteney Cox right there. Tell us about the premise and the character you play.
Yeah, it was great. We had a really good time. We actually shot it here on this lot, and it was. And Courteney has worked on this lot. I guess she had some show in the '90s or something that was going on here. But obviously, the lovely Courteney was the perfect person to do it with. I was so grateful. She's funny. She's smart. She is genuinely easy to scare. And the show is kind of a mix of a lot of different things. Jeff Astroff and the great Sharon Horgan, who's a wonderful actress and writer. They created this over COVID, and the idea is it's this family that's in the city of New York, and things are the young family, obviously, and they're struggling with the various things that you do in the big city. They're in a crowded space. It's loud and noisy, and she's had a little bit of an indiscretion with the handyman. So her husband, me, decides we're going to leave the city and try and kind of stabilize the marriage. So we moved to upstate New York, which is this little town called Shining Vale, kind of an unusual place. And I get a house for $400,000 below asking, which I think is a great deal, but turns out there's some stuff going on at the house that we didn't anticipate.
Stuff being like spooky stuff?
Yeah. So is that the word you use, spooky?
Or there's supposed to be some sort of scary element to it.
That's right. No.
Is it a scare?
It's a real mix. I mean, it is. I've never done kind of a horror thing before, but it's genuinely a very scary show. It's also a mystery, and it's very funny. But at the end, I think in its heart, it's a dysfunctional family story.
Right.
So it kind of has a lot of what you would hope in just a regular show, but the world in which it takes place is very unusual.
Yeah, that's original.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's a lot of
there.
fun. We had a great time making it. And like I said, there's nobody better to scare than Courteney Cox. She's like a little fragile butterfly. So you can do that to her, and she's gone.
She's gone. Well, she's got experience with Scream when that.
We shot it in a very scary giant house that had
in Pasadena,
kind of fantastic, yes, South Pasadena. It had strange halls and rooms. I mean, it's right out of The Shining. It was wonderful.
Oh, wow. I want to check this out now.
Yeah.
Shining Vale is the name of it. It's going to premiere March 6th at 10 on Stars, and the great Greg Kinnear is starring in it.
Be there.
Thank you, my man.
Thank you.
That was awesome. We'll be right back.